these fruits. And if you're saying to yourself, this is a Simple Home Solutions show, I'm not quite sure why I'm seeing Honeybells and Simple Home Solutions. I will tell you the problem. It is January, it is gray, it is cold, it is freezing, and at times can be relatively depressing. How would you like to bring home a box of pure sunshine to let you know that spring is definitely on its way? That's what you will get every single time you bring home a box of Florida Honeybells from Cushman's and 53749. This is our item of the month, and you want to know why? Because Alan Cushman, who has been bringing these to QVC for many, many years.
14.
For 14 total years, Alan?
I was just a boy when we started.
You were just knee-high to a grasshopper when we first started. What I love about this is that it's an amazing limited edition fruit. That's the happy part and the sad part about this, because we really only see these from Florida throughout the month of January.
And we don't always get to the end.
Sometimes
and I
we
don't
don't.
think we're not going to get to the end this year.
So I need to let you know something. Over 26,000 sets have already been ordered since we started this at the beginning of the month, and I need to show you right here. This is your choice. 2 ways in which you can bring this home. A single box will be 7.5 pounds. Your price is $34. If you want to double your offer, we're not doubling your price of $34 times 2. We actually took $10 away from that by bundling the 2 orders together and getting it home to you in a more affordable way. And the best part about food at QVC is that the shipping and handling is always free.
And with a heavy product like that, it's a big deal.
Certainly, it's a huge deal. So I need to ask you, Alan, someone is watching, especially right now. This is not a food show. You may never have heard the Honeybell story before. Limited edition fruit only really blooms and comes to QVC this one time of year during January. It looks like a beautiful orange, but it isn't an orange. What kind of fruit is this?
Well, it's a cross, an amazing cross between a Dancy tangerine, which is a little small sour tangerine full of seeds. You can't even buy them anymore. They don't even grow them anymore.
Right.
And a Duncan grapefruit, which is a white grapefruit with seeds. They don't grow those anymore either. This is just representative of it. But they cross those two. You know, back in the late 1800s, and even today, they're looking to develop new varieties.
Right.
So they kept crossing and crossing and crossing, scrapped the results every time until one day, this was hanging on the branch.
Look at this.
And the way you cross it is they took a feather and they took some pollen from the tangerine blossom,
right,
and put it on the grapefruit blossom. Then they have to wait to see what happens.
Which is amazing, because it's not any of this newfangled sciencey stuff. This is just literally crossing plants with pollen the old-fashioned way. And this beautiful fruit, some are shaped like a bell, some are round, but this fruit was the result.
Yes.
And so when we have this fruit, you can see how ripe, how juicy they are. We're going to show you how different they are from oranges if you want to stick with us. But what is the main difference in taste?
Oh my. It doesn't taste like a grapefruit, believe me. It doesn't taste like a tangerine.
Right.
In fact, I've asked and asked and asked, and no one has been able to describe the flavor of Honeybell. It truly is delicious. It's just, it's sweet.
So sweet, like so sweet, naturally. So juicy. If you've ever had to work really hard to get the juice out of an orange because the skin was thick and the pith, that white stuff on the inside was thick, and you really didn't get that much juice, all you have to do is look at this and the juice comes out of it. I mean, you don't have to work hard at all to get the juice. And so this is way juicier than any citrus fruit I have ever had in my life.
You know, well, let's compare it.
Okay.
You know, we all go to the grocery store and bring a bunch of oranges home, and sometimes we're pleased with the results. And
forgot about my bib, what you get, by the way. See, sometimes we're pleased with the results from an orange, but more often than not, what happens with me is I'll find an orange and I'll be like, this is so good. And I'll go back to the store, and then the next 5 or 6 or 7, such a disappointment. And then I'll go for months and not get another one, but I am never disappointed by a Honeybell.
Well, let's take this store-bought orange right here.
Okay.
And I'll grab a Honeybell and we'll compare them.
All right, so this is the orange right here. And this is the Honeybell. The first thing that I notice is the color, actually, before
Yes.
anything else. How mine is almost a pale orange, and yours is this rich, deep, vibrant shade.
Yes.
And then also, all of the white and all of the skin on mine is incredibly thick, and yours is much more delicate. So what does that mean for the little sacs that hold the juice inside?
Well, let me show you.
Okay.
It's pretty neat what nature provided. The juice is contained in these tiny little sacs. If it wasn't for that, the juice would be running around in there loose. That wouldn't work. Nature's pretty smart. And the thing about the Honeybell is those little sacs are very tender and delicate. And it just takes a little
back. I don't need this on my shoes.
It just takes a little bit of squeezing to release all that heavenly juice.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful fruit. It is so bright, so vibrant, so sweet, so juicy. A lot of people have different ways that they like to eat this. Some people actually just love to squeeze it for juice, and that is their favorite thing. If you're like me, what I do is I take a grapefruit spoon and I stand over the sink and I will carve out section after section after section, and somehow, after I'm done with all of those sections, there is still juice on the bottom of the skin on the inside that I will then proceed to squeeze into a little bowl, and then I drink the rest of it. It is amazing to me how much juice you have, but this is one of people's favorite ways to enjoy
this is a way is to make a little smile like that. And then you cut it like that.
Here, wait, I want to make sure that they didn't see that for a second. There you go. Okay, so the knife, you make two little handles.
Two little cut, and then you've got a handle like this.
And then you just eat it.
But wear the bib. Somebody said to me one
Wear
time,
the bib.
Alan,
Please wear the bib.
that's a great marketing gimmick.
It's not a gimmick.
It is
you
not.
need it. If you are not standing over the sink, there's even like a little shelf. There's like a pocket in here that will catch any extra juice. It's new this month. It's our item of the month. And really, we only see Honeybells right after Christmas. That is one thing we have looked forward to for 14 years here at QVC, is that little blip of spring and summer sunshine that we happen to get. But that's because of this one harvest that happens once a year. Even if you do auto delivery on this, auto delivery doesn't come every 2 months. You get your shipment right away, and then you get another shipment in January of 2018, because we'll have to wait for a whole other harvest unless you order more than one box, which is why I recommend that buy more, save more of the full 15 pounds of fruit, which would be both of those boxes that you see right there, because they will actually stay good surprisingly a long time when you put them in the crisper or chilled in the refrigerator.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that the best when they're chilled?
Yes, when they're chilled. Try it. Put a few in the crisper. And you know, it holds true with almost all fruits except tomatoes.
Right, but you want to keep room temperature.
Fruit tastes better cold.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Because a lot of people wonder, you know, in many cases with fruits, they're sitting in a warehouse or certain things are happening for a period of time. Where is your warehouse located?
Well, it's located out in a big open field planted with Honeybell
So
trees.
that's the warehouse?
That's the warehouse right
the
there.
tree.
That's where we keep the Honeybells until we're ready to ship them. And we pick them the day before we ship them.
So they ripen on the tree.
They're ripened on the tree, and they're never in a warehouse. They're never in cold storage. They're packed in a packing house close to the grove, and done so skillfully and carefully, and delivered right to your door. And when you open that box, you're going to smell a beautiful smell of sweet Honeybells in a Florida Honeybell grove.
It is so, I can't even describe the aroma to you. The fragrance that this puts out is not just of citrus, but of freshness. There is a fresh, actual sweet fragrance that this has, and capturing that inside of a fruit where you can smell it on the outside of the skin is something absolutely remarkable, and it doesn't happen every single day, which is why it doesn't really happen when you go to your local grocery store. This is not an orange, this is a Honeybell. It's one of 2 limited edition fruits that we carry here at QVC that we have generally for a month, especially in the case of the Florida Honeybells. We don't usually see past the month of January, and we're almost getting to the halfway point of the month, and sometimes we don't even make it all the way through the month before all the orders are taken. And I need to let you know too, I think 27,000, Jason, of these have been spoken for now for the month. How many, I know this is done by weight, So you might get a couple fewer
Yeah,
if the fruits are larger. How many will we get?
12
just
to
about?
15 in
Okay.
the 7.5 pound, and 24 to 30 in the 15 pound. And you know, if you're afraid that, well, gee, I won't be able to eat those quick enough,
It'll be okay. You will.
I promise you, you won't have a problem. Somehow Honeybells disappear.
That's right, they do. And you know what? I'm not kidding you. They are so juicy. The first time you have these, I really, as your friend, would tell you to wear the bib and stand over the sink. That's just what I would tell you to do until you realize what your vibe is, how you want to eat it, whether you want to do the grapefruit spoon, whether you want to cut the little handles and eat it that way, whether you want to juice it, because the slightest little amount of pressure, and it just starts flowing. And over 27,000 have been spoken for this month. Are you peeling it and doing the segments?
Yes, because we talk so much about, you know, when we squeeze them and juice them and all that. But
Look at this right here. You just pulled it apart, the segments apart, and you can see already, you can do the segments, but the juice is already starting to come out of even where the segments are.
Yes. And so, you know, you can make a little smiles like that, or you can peel it and eat them one section at a time.
The sweetest, juiciest citrus fruit you will probably ever have. I don't care if you go down to Florida and you get fresh squeezed orange juice from Florida. This is not an orange. This is not orange juice that comes out of this. It's the most delightful blend. What are those two fruits that were crossed again that we can no longer even buy?
Yeah, a Dancy tangerine, little small tangerine loaded with seeds, and a Duncan grapefruit. Most people have never even seen a Duncan grapefruit.
Right.
It's a big white grapefruit full of seeds.
Right.
But when they put the two together, I don't know what happened, but it happened.
Something magical. And I need to let you know as I come right back around here as well, you have two ways to do this. You can either get the one box, which is a 7.5 pound assortment, the two boxes, which is double the order. That would be your 15 pound assortment. And if you go for the double order, we did not double your price. We took $10 away from that price, and your shipping is free. That is a lot of money you're saving for a 7.5 or a 15 pound choice, knowing that it's already bundled and it's not a surprise. It's our item of the month for the month of January, and I don't know how many more times we'll have a chance to see it. I know it's on tomorrow, but I don't know how many more times you'll have a chance to see it before it is gone until 2018. Alan, so good to see you.
You've got your store-bought and you got your Honeybell. What's in your kitchen?
That's right. I hope you're going to be getting those Honeybells. And my dear Alan, we will see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. And in the meantime, I'm going to get ready for our Fitbit Today special value, but I think Jen is going to tell us about something we already saw.